Hey guys, and welcome back to Discussing the Universe with Drake.
And Ty.
And just a little warning, my microphone's been on the fritz recently, so if it disconnects, I'll have to reconnect it, so there might be some times where it disconnects and I don't notice. But otherwise, today's
Yeah.
episode is about something I think us two can relate to a lot.
Yes.
Hiatuses. Hiatusi? Who
it's
knows?
it it's good to be back.
It's fun. How long I actually
Both of
don't
us
remember how long we've been gone.
we were gone for I think 3 or 4 weeks.
3 or 4. That's like a month.
Yeah. Well, both of us were in the musical.
Yeah.
Or are going to be in the musical since technically it hasn't come out yet. But what's going on, or what went on, was we needed to do some filming, and there were a bunch of rehearsals and stuff, and we just didn't find the time to record the podcast.
Yes.
So it does feel good to be back.
Feels nice to
and
talk
of course,
for long periods of time.
well, it's really funny because we should have waited for season 2 to start.
Yeah, we started it,
until
and then
after
we realized,
finished.
oh wait, we don't have time to do this.
Immediately we went into a hiatus.
So,
which is typically not something you should do.
right now should be the first episode of season 2, but that's not how things turned out.
We'll call it like we'll rename the last episode
Episode
like season 1 extra.
Extra. No, I think it's
and then-
fine. But
yeah. No, of course it's fine.
yes,
But it's
fine.
just
Everything we do is great. Okay, we are
Yes.
perfect beings who cannot make a flaw. It was actually
professionals.
It was because
It was all planned.
We planned.
It
We
was all
planned that
planned.
this episode would be about
Yeah,
hiatuses, and so we
we
went on
needed
a
to
hiatus.
have a
Yeah.
hiatus.
Yeah, it was
But
an object
in
lesson.
order to justify the hiatus, we specifically planned it to happen directly during the show rehearsals.
The musical rehearsals, yes. So that's why we
Yes.
actually
Speaking
made the
of the
musicals
musical,
happen.
Speaking of the musical, all of you should check it out. It's pretty
Avenue
pretty
Q.
neat.
Those who have seen
Avenue
it
Q.
know it's a really funny, and I think our little drama crew has done a really good job. You know, I'll put into this in the
We
description.
all worked really hard.
I'll put
Yeah. Well,
the
you
drama
can put the
YouTube
JBHS
channel.
drama.
Yeah. the YouTube
Yeah.
channel in the description.
Oh, I was gonna put the website.
Oh, you're gonna put the website. I'm just gonna put the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That's where it's going up. I assume.
I
That's
I
where
guess
the other
so.
stuff
Yeah.
went up. So.
I'll just do both. All right.
All right.
So hiatuses. One of my current favorite shows. Or do you want to go first?
No, you can go.
All right. One of my current favorite shows, The Owl House by Dana Terrace, is currently in hiatus. Because season 1 ended in December, and it was like this. It was like a great season finale. And I was so heartbroken when I realized that there was no next episode to look forward to in the following week, because at that point it was a week by week basis. I was like, oh, awesome.
Okay.
This week's episode was great. This week's episode was great. It was kind of like The Mandalorian for you, Drake.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I actually have time to get into that. So
Epic!
I will
Finally,
I will
guys,
soon
the audience,
understand the references.
Ty has not ever seen any of the Mandalorian.
I haven't seen any of The Mandalorian.
It's disappointing.
I understand. All right, don't worry. Well, it's either that or I go back into Lucifer. But anyway, I was so heartbroken that the hiatus was happening, and I was just so crushed because I was like, what's gonna fill that little void on my Sunday afternoon? It's like, what's gonna take up that time? It's just a feeling of loss and not being able to the fog of that 30 minutes.
Did you ever clear
scary.
the fog, or is it just
well,
still?
It's less foggy now because basically after or just as the season was ending, I joined a bunch of like art discords for fellow fans and stuff, and I've been making like fan art. Some of them hop in and like they make entire alternate like universes where the characters are doing other things.
That's what I like to call fan fiction in
fan
the
fiction.
industry.
Yeah, right. But yeah, and they make really good work of it. Like they're spectacular artists. Maybe I'll throw one of them on screen if I remember.
I'm not going to, and I don't remember. And I also don't know what you're
you
talking
don't
about.
know you don't know any of
There's
them. So
a lot of
probably
combination
not.
of things that I have no idea what to do.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's my little hiatus story that's currently happening right now. What's your hiatus story?
Hiatus story. I don't have two. The hiatus story I do have was so when the Star Wars Clone Wars TV show was on on the Cartoon Networks or whatever, it ended after season 6 technically, But I
It
guess
had 6 seasons. Good lord.
it never like concluded. There was no ending to it.
Oh
So
no. Oh, that sucks.
and it just kind of stopped. Um, and a bunch of things were left kind of loose. But then, like years later, someone in the comments tell me how many years it was. Like pretty recently, they finally came out with the last season that actually like concluded everything. But that time in between, I didn't watch like a bunch of Clone Wars. I in fact just re-binged it over the quarantine just because like I had the time. You can see my cool Clone Wars review in the iCard
Oh
in the
my
card
god.
corner. Um,
Yes, yes, yes.
but it was really cool finally seeing it actually wrap up after just like years of not being done. A lot of shows
Absolutely.
come back actually have come back recently. Samurai Jack. I never actually watched too much of
Yes,
the original.
I was
I have not seen
I
anything this
was
season. I just know that it like came back.
what?
I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, you were getting to a point that I was actually going to get to after you were done talking.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Which was
which is how good it feels when a hiatus is over.
uh
Um because I remember watching through Samurai Jack and like going through everything and just being so like confused, like where's the finale, where's all of the where's the final battle and all that, and it never happened. And then freaking like a decade later, finally Adult Swim finishes off Samurai Jack, and they did it so well, and it was just
I
mwah,
literally
di
have
molto.
basically the exact same story, except without the happy ending. Um,
Ah.
for Spectacular Spider-Man was a show
Oh,
on back a while ago. It's like one of the most
I think
popular
I remember that one.
Spider-Man animated series of all time. People like love it, but like it ended on a cliffhanger at the end of season
Oh.
2, and then they canceled
Hmm.
it because I think Disney bought it actually at that time.
Really?
Yeah, so they
Oh,
just
because Disney
canceled the
got
show.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Disney got Spider-Man and everything. So it just ended.
Oh my
And
god.
I remember like
Wow.
looking online like for the final season I didn't know actually didn't exist, and I was like,
That
Where
hurts.
is it? I need to finish the show." But it hasn't come to fruition, and
Dang. I'm
man,
still waiting for I'm still waiting for the Gravity Falls season 3 to come out.
it's not happening.
Uh, I'm
No.
joking. I'm
No.
joking.
It could
Alex
if
Hirsch,
it
please. I'm
happened.
joking.
Alex Hirsch, please just give me the Gravity Falls season 3. Please.
Didn't Sebastian bring a Journal 3 to your
Yes.
little? Yeah, it looked cool.
It's a very I don't know if they have every single journal, but the fact that they have like a full, it's not like
It's just 3, I think, because
just
believe
they
me,
only did 3.
I looked for 1 and 2.
Okay, so they just did 3, but it's like full. It's like full of stuff.
Really jam packed. Ah, dang, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Um, what was I gonna say? Gravity Falls is a
Such a good show.
show that, despite the fact that I want more, it really does feel
It's good
complete.
that
It does
yeah.
feel finished. It feels like a complete I don't want it to just keep on going on
Well,
and on and on and on.
it's because they had that good conclusion.
Yes, exactly.
It's important that we recognize that sometimes a show has its definite happy ending, or maybe not so happy ending, but just an ending that really finalizes everything. And it's good that it ended where it did.
I don't think that people nowadays can really watch Gravity Falls as good as before because people can just binge the whole thing. A part of the excitement of
True.
Gravity
The
Falls was
mystery
watching it
elements and
slowly
waiting
come
for it.
out and unravel itself. Exactly.
Hmm.
And there would be discussions online about everything, and I feel like that's just kind of, you can just watch the show now. I mean, it's still a really good show despite that, but I feel like there's that aspect it's just missing.
Right, yeah, and that's actually what happened with me and the Owl House a little bit. See, the episode names, they were all each of like the first letter in each episode, it eventually spelled out like a
The thing.
phrase that yeah that
Uh,
like was a premonition to the final episode.
I see.
So yeah, it was really cool, and they had like ciphers and everything. And Dana Terrace, the creator, was actually a storyboard artist for Gravity Falls. Um,
Oh, okay.
so they're similar, Drake. So if you like
Yeah,
Gravity Falls,
I've
you
seen the
should check
first
out the
episode
show.
of
I'm
Owl
just saying.
House.
Yeah,
It
I know
feels
you. I know you have. Yeah,
It
yeah.
does, just from what
Very
I've
good.
seen, it looked pretty good. It does feel like it's just trying a bit too hard to be Gravity Falls, the sequel, but
No,
it's
not really.
eh.
Believe me, I'm sure whatever worries you have will go away by episode 3,
All right.
which you could take the time to watch
Yeah,
after we're
I'm
done
doing a
here.
podcast. I'm doing a podcast right now.
Yeah,
Time.
you're
Then
doing
I
a
have to study
podcast.
for
That is very
math, and
exciting.
then maybe I'll do that.
Oh, based
Math
math.
is no unbased math actually. Statistics.
You
If you
have
like
AP
statistics,
stats, Drake.
you're a psychopath. You're a
Yeah.
legitimate psychopath.
Dude, I don't know what I was thinking going into AP stats. Oh my
Is that
god.
your first AP class, or you've taken an AP before?
I've taken advanced levels of
That's
education
not
before, but
AP is not just like advanced levels. AP is like
yeah, it's
dumb.
more, which
I'm
I
currently
did not
dying in AP
realize.
stats right now, and I'm studying super
Yeah,
hard. But I feel like it's all
which
just going
I'm
to
proud of you for
waste.
doing that. Keep going.
I keep studying, and then I go to the practice test, and I get slightly better at doing it. But I still feel like I'm not good enough to pass the
It,
test, which is an issue because
it's
that's
just.
tomorrow.
Oh wait, that's tomorrow. Oh my
Yes.
god. Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Why some of my other friends who are in AP stats were freaking out.
Yes.
Uh, ugh. Yeah. Yeah. Although, yeah, one of my friends, it's like, oh god, I'm struggling, and she has like an A minus, and it's like,
Oh
oh,
my gosh, I have like a D right now. Okay.
really?
I failed one of the tests, and that just
Oh man.
destroyed my grade because it was the first test of the entire
Right.
semester. So there was nothing else that I could back me up on. So I'm hoping. So even if I do get an A on this test, I'll have like a C in the class overall, which
It'll
okay.
cancel
I
out a
hate
little
how
bit.
grades work like that. Like oh my, like
Yeah.
if you get half of the questions right on a problem, on like a test, you now have like a
It,
failing grade. But then if you get every single question right, you get
on like homework or
on homework
anything,
or anything,
it's
you get
barely
barely
does
anything.
anything. Yeah. Oh, speaking of teachers and like grades, teachers seem to take hiatuses from grading sometimes. Um, see, I brought it back around.
I see.
But yeah, one of my old teachers, he basically I knew he graded everything, but he waited to put things into the grade book, and so for the longest time in this science class, I had like a C for like 3 months, and then all of a sudden like 98% just in like in a single day, and my parents were like, what the hell?
I really
You know,
hate when teachers don't put grades in like really fast.
dude,
I
it's
I ha-
agonizing.
I can't tell if I'm doing good or not. Like
Yeah,
sometimes I'll be in a
which
class, I'll be literally like, oh yeah, this is easy, and then they'll post the grades in like 2 days before the 5 week, and you're like, actually, you're doing
we,
terrible. You should improve
we need
yourself.
to
I'm like,
we
okay.
need to cut some slack because obviously teachers, they're underpaid, underappreciated,
Yes,
um,
yes.
and all that. But
Doesn't mean
also
they
just
can't be better.
calm down. But you know, they need time to get things done too. But my example, I knew he was putting he had a physical book with all of the grades in them, but he
Oh,
just refused to put them into the computer. So I guess he just did
strange.
giant binging sessions where he just put everything into the computer like in a single day, maybe,
Perhaps.
which is odd, because I would know what binging things, you know,
Yes.
how it destroys your body.
Yes. Yes.
Totally didn't
Hi.
record the entirety of Avenue Q Act 1 and Act 2 in a single 5-hour session on Friday where I sang and danced for 5 hours. Oh god,
I
I'm still
did
tired.
everything except for 2 songs on Friday. Then I did. Wait, no, I might have done. Okay, yeah, on Friday. Then I did 1 song on Saturday, 1 song on Sunday. It was still
I think
painful because the
I
two
think
were the two hardest songs.
that's true. Yeah, it was the last one and like the one in the middle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know where you
Yeah.
what you're
You know what I'm
talking
saying.
about.
You know what I'm putting
picking up
down.
what
You're
you're putting
picking up.
down.
I keep on. Where is that from? I know it's like an
It's from the
expression.
Owl
But,
House, you heathen.
oh, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's also just an
Yes.
expression
Well,
in
it's an
general.
expression,
But
but the most recent where I've heard it
oh
is in the
my
Owl
gosh,
House,
you're such
so
a
I'm giving that
fanatic.
credit.
Get it? Because I was Tolkien fan.
I am.
Fanatic
I
fiction.
oh
That's
my
what we should
god.
call it.
Speaking of binging, do you think binging shows is a good idea, or do you think you should like take a break every once in a while?
Depends
Like,
on the show, honestly.
okay, so this may not be like a healthy thing. So
I'm
let's say
worried.
let's say it's like 45-minute episodes, right?
Uh-huh.
And you end up watching half a season, and the seasons are like 24 episodes long. All right,
Okay.
and you spend a long time on the couch that day, all right? And
Mm-hmm.
you're just sitting there going through all of the episodes. This was a while back. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, what show is this?
It was Lucifer. I just got into it, and I was like, "Yo, this show is like pretty neat." And then I spent my entire day watching half a season.
Oh.
Yeah,
I like to
yeah.
spread them out more. I like to watch like shows nightly or like movies. Binging movies I do not like to
Movies
do.
is
Not a
difficult.
fan. I did
That's just horrible. Yeah.
what was I going to say? Back
Uh,
I've mentioned this a million
oh,
times, but back when Star
okay.
Wars
Here we go.
the episode 9 was coming out on the Disney Plus on May the 4th.
Uh,
2020, which I
joke.
have to specify now because I just realized we're not in 2020 anymore, so I can't say this year. So that's weird. That's not okay. But I binged one Star Wars movie a night until that day, except we miscalculated, so we had to watch
You
6 and 7
miscalculated.
in one day, which
Oh, that must have been tiring.
it was very tiring.
Yeah,
So, and
that's always weird.
but I do
You know,
like watching a franchise one after another, the day after the day of each other. It hits different, you know.
I can agree with that. Uh, I always find it interesting how you can like watch a lot of things and then feel tired afterward. Like you're not physically tired, but your
Yeah,
brain is just so like
but like not when
turned
I'm
to mush.
watching it.
It forces. Yeah, not when you're the moment it stops.
It's
It's
like
just like nope.
it's like when
You
I'm
don't get to
like
have
up
energy anymore.
really
We
late
are
at
going to
night,
sleep.
like 2 o'clock in the morning, talking with the boys, and then suddenly I get
Uh huh.
off, and then suddenly I'm like, wait a second,
You pass
I'm
out. Yeah.
exhausted.
Well, it's because your brain realizes it has a bunch of information to like go through, and like your subconscious is like, yeah, I
Sleep
ain't
is
doing
so
this.
weird. It's like
Sleep is
it's
fun, dude.
no.
It's
I
nice.
meant like on a conceptual level.
What do you mean? You just put your body on the soft shelf for about eight
Yeah,
hours, and then you
cool.
wake up feeling
But
refreshed.
people actually don't really know necessarily too much why things sleep.
Uh,
Besides, like sometimes like it has to process information, kind
yeah,
of.
that's
But
kind of like what
that's
we do. Um, what humans do is well we kind of like our bodies kind of cleanse while we're sleeping, and our brains go through information kind of like in a stream. And people have theorized that like how like a waterfall, water kind of sprays everywhere.
yeah.
People think that like in your consciousness stream, quote unquote, the droplets flying away from the waterfall, those are your dreams. That's why dreams can get really weird. Like one moment you can be somewhere, and the next moment you can be like wherever.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, the lucid dreamers, people have theorized like the waterfall is like a infinity symbol, constantly
All
looping back on
right.
itself.
It's odd.
Yeah, but whatever. Enough about
You have to
that
literally
stuff.
shut down your entire body for like an 8 hour period, and for different animals, it changes for arbitrary reasons.
Well,
Generally, like if
they have less of a need for more
yeah,
energy, or yeah,
but otherwise, it's just like it's strange. It's like such a weakness. It's
not,
like
not
you
exactly.
shut down your body for 8 hours with no protection, basically. Except some animals are like half awake all the time.
Some yeah, they
Like
keep like their left side
dolphins do
awake
that.
and then their right
They
side.
so they can breathe from the air.
Breathing is slightly important.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
they literally have to like shut down half their body in order to just
No.
breathe.
Well, we humans we have it on autopilot. Of course, the second you start thinking about it, you start breathing manually, which is odd. And I
No, stop.
apologize to any audience
No,
member who just
no.
heard me talk about that.
Why?
I'm
Now I'm
sorry.
in deep pain.
I just realized I didn't
Fucking
apologize to
pain.
you. I'm sorry.
Deep.
Um,
Wow, you didn't even consider me. Oh my
I
gosh.
ju-
It's in
I
the
just
title. It's
remembered.
right there.
With Drake and Ty, but Drake doesn't breathe
See, look in
automatically.
the sky. You can see the title. It's right there. The credits. They're floating past the sky. Wait,
Oh
why are
my
the end
god.
credits playing? Oh no. Oh no.
Huh, neat. Uh, God.
What significant event in the world would cause end credits to play?
Well, the end of the world, obviously, like a giant tsunami taking over, like cities or whatever. Like,
Yeah, but
or
that doesn't feel like a proper
California.
ending. There's no
California
character arc to
secedes
that.
from the rest of the United States. And by secede, I don't mean like literally like in terms of government. I mean literally California breaks off because of
Yeah,
like the
yeah, yeah.
San Andreas fault.
Like
Yeah.
the.
That wasn't a political joke. It's just a fact of
Oh
geology
my
taking
gosh,
over in
Ty, did
about
you
a
just
long
make a
time.
politics reference? I'm
Oh
going to
God,
kill you.
what
I'm
have I
going to
done?
kill you. Die! You can't
No,
do this to
please.
me!
No. I'm not
Oh.
very political at all. And any political view I do have, it's meh. Like I don't like thinking about politics at all.
Are you saying you're a liberal conservative? Are you kidding me?
I
That's so offensive
I
to
don't even
everyone.
know what that means. I don't even know what that means. That's how
My
unpolitically
gosh.
directed I
Oh
am.
my gosh.
Oh
It's
God,
totally not
how
just I
dare you?
combined liberal and conservative together. Oh my gosh. That's so.
What
That's.
a you could have let the
You have
audience
offended
think
every
I'm a
group.
complete
You've
fool.
offended every single group. Ty, I can't believe it.
Well, yes, of course. The centrists are going to come after me because I don't know what politic terms are.
Exactly.
All right, all right.
All the non-political people too are getting really upset that you showed any signs of politics too. So you're on thin ice here.
I'm on
And
thin
by thin
ice.
ice, it's above magma, so it's rapidly melting.
It's rapidly melting. Wow, okay. Noted, of course.
It's like a choose your own adventure book, except both pages lead to you burning the book.
Burning like the book itself?
Yes, the
Like
book. It's like
you just
Fahrenheit
you just don't
451.
get
You
to
know that. You know that. It's like that. That's what at the that's what they should get a copy of Fahrenheit 451 that just immediately upon reading the final sentence of the book it just combusts.
so like there's like a thermite trigger on the final
Yes.
page. You realize that would kill the person reading it probably,
It's
right?
about
Or
the message,
at
Ty. It's worth
it's
it.
about principle, goddamn.
You would never understand the principles of murder. It's a very deep thing. You
You
see,
would know, wouldn't
someone
you?
they die
Yeah.
and then they're dead.
Yeah. Uh, Actually, in the video I most recently posted,
Yeah.
you said almost something extremely similar. It was there's a difference between someone's internet dying and them dying.
There is.
Um,
There is a big.
s-
There is a big difference between
yeah,
that.
you in like the hour and a half of footage I got, you mentioned death like 23 times. Are you okay?
Maybe. Honestly, not too sure
Well,
myself.
back to hiatuses anyway.
Back to
So
you
I
know
have
a
noticed
death is just like a big hiatus. All right.
it's a big
Okay, so
hiatus until your
you know
soul
how
reincarnated.
Jesus, the second coming. All right, he's just on hiatus right now. Okay.
He was on a 3-day hiatus,
Yeah.
guys. Calm down.
Calm down.
The second season. The
you-
second season. You didn't have to wait that long.
You lost him for one day and you go and riot. Jeez. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What has like a show ever just had their director just like die like halfway through making it?
Yes,
Probably.
actually.
You have an example?
I do have an example. It was this one anime. I really liked. I can't remember the name, but I remember it being so good. And then like I searched and it ended at like episode like 11, which is like not a traditional place to end things off.
Yeah.
And it ended just like with not even like a cliffhanger. It just ended. And so I searched up what happened, and it turns out that the main voice actor, Shimoneta, that's what the anime was. But the main female lead's voice actor died.
Damn.
And I was like, what? She died in like a car crash, dude. And I was like, no, what? That's terrible.
Sucks.
Another anime actually, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. The season 2 was delayed. Not because I don't think people died, but like their building burned down. Actually, building burned down. That might be bad. Ugh, I probably shouldn't have said that. But
Wait,
yeah,
what?
like
Why
they're
shouldn't you have said that?
just like their building burned down, and I think there's no deaths. Like obviously no deaths, really good, but like I don't know that for sure.
Yeah,
So I shouldn't have said that.
no, it's fine.
Um, I,
There
I
you
don't
go,
know.
making political statements again, Ty.
No,
Oh my
please.
gosh.
That wasn't a political statement. But yeah, like their building burned down. So season two's been delayed for like 2 years now. And I'm
Oh.
like, that's another hiatus.
Oh,
That's another
oh,
hiatus.
oh,
Ah!
oh, oh!
But yeah,
Absolutely fantastic.
that one's a really wholesome anime, actually.
I have
Please do
heard.
check that out. Yes, it's very nice. Um, God, why am I the one with all the hiatus stories, and you're chilling here with like only 3 of my shows have ever gone into hiatus, and those are the
Bro,
only
I
ones I'm
don't.
ever disappointed
It's
about.
honestly mostly a lot of anime because there's just the way it's like
That's
made
just the way it is, I
compared to
guess. But like, dang, bro.
television, other television and stuff. Usually, because
Mm,
stuff like that, they have just like you expect a hiatus between every season, and otherwise they have everything like pre-filmed and they just release it. But a lot of times with anime, they're
yeah,
in the middle of making episodes in a season, and they
that's true.
release them
That's true.
as they're being like made instead of just having them all pre-made and then just releasing them all weekly. Not because like they have to release them weekly, just because like it
Just
makes it
that's just the
better.
way it is.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, I actually
television as
was.
a oh you know you say your thing.
What? Oh, well, I was just gonna say I watched a documentary on how one of my favorite shows, Doctor Stone, was made,
Hmm.
and how literally just every week they just go in and be like, "All right, boys, this is the script.
Here we
Here's the
go.
storyboards. Um, I need you to run these assets. I need you to do this. Da, 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 da. And I just watched them do this like process just in their office, and it
Dang.
was cool. Because I was like, oh dang, animation, that's pretty neat, and like I really like watching the collaboration on that. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
What was it? Oh yes. Television as a whole, kind of, it's just kind of dying because of streaming services, I guess.
That's true.
Um,
Yeah.
but I do think there's too many streaming services now that like
Well,
there's
yes
it
and
costs too
no.
much. It's
That's
just too
true.
much now compared to
That's
just
why,
having a bunch of shows on one network that you get
like on
just
cable,
like on
yeah,
cable. There's just too much to keep track of now. You got your Disney Plus, you got your Netflix, you got your Hulu, you got your
Disney
Amazon
Plus,
Prime, you got your
Netflix.
HBO Max, you got so much stuff.
That's true. Yeah, that's why I only like the Kings. Like Disney Plus, Netflix, HBO Max, Amazon Prime Video. Not entirely sure.
Amazon
Also,
Prime is weird because like you can buy they have a bunch of movies on Amazon, but like
yeah,
a, it's only some of them are like free for Prime. Other ones you
yeah.
just have to
I
buy like Redbox.
Well, what's interesting is, well, it's either that or like a discount.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like a friend of mine told me the story where they were watching like the James Bond films
Yeah.
on Amazon Prime Video, and like she just finished one and she was gonna watch the next one, and like they took it down
I was just
like
about to mention this.
the
Literally
day of.
February 1st, so like
Oh my god,
a
you
little over.
remember?
Yes, no, I remember
Oh no.
specifically because me and a family were watching a bunch of the Lord of the Rings. We're gonna watch the
Oh nice.
third one tomorrow, which is the last one,
Right.
but we watched the first one on what was it? I think it was Hulu. Yes, we watched the first one on Hulu. And then February 1st, that was the only day we could like watch it, so we decided to watch it then, and it wasn't on Hulu anymore. So I was like, "What the heck happened?" I looked it
Sucks,
up.
dude.
I looked it up. They took it off on January 31st. So the
No,
day
that was so
before,
close.
they took it
Oh
off,
my god,
and we
I'm
had
so
to get it. We had
sorry.
to get it at the library, which is fine. Library, I always forget about
You
it because
rented
you can't.
like a VHS from the Library of
No,
Lord.
bro, it's a CD. It was like 2003
It's a
that movie came
CD,
out.
guys. Come on, it's slightly better
Come on,
technology.
come on. No, but it's not that bad. I have a
You're right.
ton
You're
of
right.
VHSs, and I love VHS players. I still have one under
Dude,
the
I have a
TV.
cassette player.
You have a
Like,
cassette player, bro?
dude, I got a Walkman, dude. My dad gave it to me. Like, I'm ready.
What
I'm ready
about
to
what
get
about
some
Sit Woman?
tunes. What?
That just sounds sexist now.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
No,
because
no, no.
walk
What's the
man,
punchline?
sit
What?
woman.
Oh my god.
Ty, you have to use your brain cells, Ty.
Okay,
I bet the
sorry.
rad, cool, super epic audience understood the joke immediately and laughed and were like, ha ha, oh, I got the joke.
All right, all right. Well, I guess it could be walk human then. Is that better?
No,
Walk
no, no,
person?
I don't. It's called a Walkman. I've never been the biggest fan of people calling everything instead of just like mankind, like man, and also womankind. It's like, what's the what's the point there? What's the? It's not. It was never intended to be sexist in the first place. I don't think it was. No, you know what? I'm gonna stand my ground. I'm not gonna fall under this. I don't think it was
Uh,
intended to be sexist in the first place.
it hopefully wasn't. If it was, then we need to change a few things. But
Because
anyway.
it's just saying the word man has a totally it's basically a homonym at this point.
Hmm.
Ty, please tell me you know
Well,
what a homonym is, please.
oh,
Okay, so I
please.
I believe it's a homonym, but a homonym is a word that sounds exactly the same as a different word but has a different meaning.
Oh. Okay, I know what it is, just not what the word for it was. Okay.
Yeah, like saying the word man and saying the word man are
Wait,
basically two
isn't
different
that
things.
homophone instead of
No,
homon?
because like synonym, it's like homonym, I think.
Oh,
Wait, no, is it
I thought it was
homophone?
homophone. I thought it was
Oh, jeez, I
homophone.
don't know anymore. Oh no, oh no.
Hang
I'm
on. My English teacher had us print out like these grammar sheets. Hang on, give
I
me a
guess I'm
second.
a homophobe.
Yeah, it's a homophone, dude. It,
No! I've been gotted. Okay, whatever. Well, you get what I was saying
wait,
now.
no, no,
Wait,
I
wait.
lied.
What is it? Please, please.
Must be a homonym.
Let me see.
Oh,
Let me see. I'm looking on Google.
search it up.
Well,
It's-
when I type in homo, what am I gonna get first? Homungulus. Okay.
Oh, is that from the
Homo.
skit where it's like the humongous hong no 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 logongus skit?
No,
I
it's
love that
probably
one.
from the word humunguli. I stuttered on
Homunculi?
that. Homunculi. It's the
Oh.
among us. I'm sorry.
Among Us?
I'm
Boom,
sorry.
boom,
No.
boom, boom.
Homonym.
Among Us with the drip.
I was right. It's homonym. Each of
All
two
right.
or more words having the same spelling or pronunciation but different meanings and origins.
Huh. Neat. Oh, well, that is some information I didn't know. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, that's what the whole podcast. See, now the audience
Yeah.
knows. They were like,
Now
I
they
am. The
understand.
audience was like, I have two brain cells, and I shall learn all my knowledge of
Please
the
don't.
universe
Please
from this podcast.
don't.
That's what they're saying. No,
Don't
that's what.
insult the
No,
audience.
that's what they're
They're
here
kind of the
for.
ones
The
watching.
audience are tiny children, and they're learning about the universe through this podcast. Which, trust me, is the
You realize,
greatest way. Is the best way to learn about things through
please,
this
please make
podcast.
sure.
Please
Listen,
teach your
if
children
if we-
the alphabet.
if
They're good.
we
Watch.
ever
A
if we
B
ever
G
say,
V
oh my
W
god,
X 1 Z Y
one
Alpha Sigma Ligma.
omega, no, two different directions there. If we ever say a fact and you're skeptical and do some research on it, please provide a link in the comment section, because that way we can correct ourselves and we can make this podcast more
However,
accurate.
that's not going to happen because I'm never wrong. But
Right. Speaking of the comment section, while you're down there, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe.
hit the like button. Hit the like. Subscribe. Subscribe to
for
the like
weekly-
button. Like button.
for relatively weekly podcast content.
Except for the hiatuses, we did it. We looped
Hiatuses.
it. We looped it back
We
around.
did it.
We took the thread.
You did it.
We were like the guy that went to the
Needle.
Minotaur pit and we were like, whoop, 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 and we just pulled it back. We just
You-
pulled back that yarn. We went like, and
You
now we're
mean
back.
Theseus?
In the metaphor,
you mean
Ty,
Theseus?
you are the Minotaur and I'm Theseus. In this metaphor.
Well, I'd rather not die, so can I at least be Daedalus? I built the catacomb.
You can be the
Maybe.
catacomb.
I can. I'm the ever-changing catacomb.
Yes.
That's actually a that's not a bad metaphor.
The ever-changing
Yeah,
catacomb. That's a
the
pretty good.
I'll be the ever-changing catacomb.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
That sounds like a metaphor or something. We need to use it.
That's
We should
what I
become
just
philosophers.
said.
Oh, wait, we already are.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
We're so smart.
Intelligence maximum.
We can talk about what makes a person smart on a different podcast. We actually are kind of running.
We
on
are
a
at
good
34
time
minutes,
here.
so
So yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is a good place to end it.
This is a
We talked all
fantastic,
about
brilliant
that.
place to end it.
Yeah. Um, unless you want to talk about hiatuses and book series,
I
or
don't
I don't know
I
how
don't
avid
read
of
too
like a
much.
reader you are.
I'm
You don't
not
read.
not very
You don't read good.
school kind of
You don't
ruined reading for
great,
me. I
dude.
read a bit as
That's
a
true.
kid, but I just don't find it very
And then
interesting
it's like
anymore.
start taking notes, and it's like, oh man,
I prefer talking about books like this and not analyzing every single sentence.
absolutely. Remember when we spent an entire episode just talking about Lord of the Flies? I found
Yes,
that conversation not only more informational, but more fun and like interactive than any class conversation I had
exactly.
about it. You know?
The class convers I'm gonna make this really quick because we're ending the episode. But
Yeah.
the class conversations, they're always just they're too in depth on every single detail that you get caught up in the little
Yeah.
things instead of looking at just like the story as a whole.
Like my English teacher, bless his soul, but Lord of the Flies and the way we talk about books, it's I feel like it could be done just a bit better. I don't know how to make it better, but maybe
Like,
that's something we can.
can we talk about how the story was just like told and like the major themes of like the futility of war
Oh
instead of like
man.
every single biblical reference that actually technically didn't even matter in the end? Can we please do that? Like
Well, it's not Lord of the Flies
when
anymore.
you're reading a
Perhaps when we go
story,
over Hamlet.
yeah, when you're in the middle of reading a story and then you find a detail, it's good in the moment. Like it adds in the moment to what you're doing. Your brain is like, "Wow, this is so neat." But it doesn't truly matter to the overall purpose of the story. It's just
Mm.
for the sake of reading it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like some information that helps you piece
Like
something together.
you don't need the description of like the room a character is in, but it helps make it much more interesting when you're reading to
It
know
helps
what.
set the scene
Yeah.
in your mind. Yeah, absolutely. Um, do you want to do you want to do the outro thing, or
Yeah.
do you want me to say this?
I
All
mean,
right.
I do it. I think
Well,
we
you
never
open,
actually had an
so you got to
order. We never
close.
actually we just kind of ended it usually.
Yeah, I feel like
So
I've closed a lot of them, so
yes, I feel like
you can do this one.
all right. So well,
You
that
go
was today's episode of discussing the universe with Drake.
and tie.
And don't forget to do all the funny socials and likes and stuff.
Yep.
See ya.
Have a good day.